You've been told for years that nuts are healthy, that they protect your heart, lower your cholesterol, and help you age well. But what if I told you that 4 specific nuts you may be eating every single day, could be silently choking off blood flow to your penis and damaging your intimacy in ways you can't see until it's too late? That's right, these so-called healthy snacks might be the hidden reason why your energy is fading, your performance feels off, and your connection with your partner just isn't what it used to be. I'm Dr. James, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping older men reclaim their vitality, naturally, confidently, and without embarrassment. I've seen hundreds of men who were eating what they thought was right, but were unknowingly feeding the very problem they were trying to fix. And here's the strange truth. Some of the nuts that are marketed as heart-healthy can actually wreak havoc on the aging male body. They disrupt your testosterone. They harden your arteries. They drain the very spark that makes you feel like a man. And yet, most doctors never mention it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 worst nuts for blood flow and sexual performance after 60, and more importantly, show you exactly what to eat instead to feel confident, strong, and intimately alive again. And be sure to stay with me to the end, because the 4th nut is one nearly every man keeps in his pantry without realizing the quiet damage it causes. Before we dive in, if you're a man over 60 who cares about staying strong, sharp, and intimately connected, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. And if this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback helps me create better, more helpful content for you. All right, now let's get into the truth that most men never hear. We'll start with the first nut, one that's often labeled as healthy, praised by plant-based diets, and found in everything from trail mix to energy bars. But for men over 60, this nut may quietly sabotage your testosterone and throw your hormones completely off balance. Let's talk about soy nuts and why they could be tricking your body in ways that directly weaken your performance and blood flow. Nut 1. Soy nuts, the testosterone trickster. I remember one patient in particular, Bill, 67 years old, sharp guy, retired engineer. He came into my office frustrated. He'd been eating clean, working out, doing everything right in his words. But still, his energy was dropping, his drive was fading, and intimacy with his wife had become rare. And here's what shocked him. One of his daily habits, snacking on soy nuts, was likely part of the problem. Soy nuts are often labeled as heart-healthy, high in protein, and great for plant-based diets. But here's what most men over 60 don't realize. Soy is loaded with phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. In small amounts, they're probably harmless. But when you eat them regularly, especially as you age and testosterone naturally begins to dip, those phytoestrogens can tip the scales even further in the wrong direction. For older men, maintaining a strong testosterone to estrogen balance is essential for sexual function, muscle tone, mental clarity, and emotional well-being. But soy nuts may quietly interfere with that balance. Studies have shown that excess soy intake is linked to reduced testosterone, lower sperm quality, and even decreased libido in men. And while it might not happen overnight, the effects can slowly build, leaving you wondering why you just don't feel like yourself anymore. To make matters worse, soy nuts also contain phytic acid, which binds to zinc in the body, an essential mineral for testosterone production and prostate health. So not only can soy nuts mimic estrogen, but they also block the minerals you need to stay strong as a man. Bill swapped out his soy habit for circulation-boosting snacks like pumpkin seeds, and within weeks, he noticed the change. More energy, more interest, more connection. But soy isn't the only sneaky saboteur. The next nut might seem harmless, maybe even nostalgic. You've probably eaten it since childhood, but for older men, it can be a blood pressure bomb hiding in plain sight. Let's take a closer look. Nut 2. Salted peanuts, the blood pressure bomber. I'll be honest with you, this one hits close to home. My father, a strong and proud man, used to keep a bowl of salted peanuts on the kitchen counter. It was his go-to snack. No sugar, no junk, just good old-fashioned peanuts, right? That's what we thought. But when he turned 70, I started noticing changes. His blood pressure crept up, his legs began to swell, and though he'd never admitted out loud, the spark between him and my mother started to dim. It wasn't until I looked closer at his diet that I realized the problem might have been sitting right in that bowl all along. Salted peanuts are everywhere. Cheap, satisfying, nostalgic. But for men over 60, they can be quietly destructive. Here's the issue. The sodium content in most salted peanuts is sky high, and when you're older, your blood vessels naturally become less elastic. Add too much salt, and it's like tightening a hose that's already brittle. Blood struggles to flow where it's needed most, especially below the belt. But it's not just the salt. Many commercial peanuts are roasted in low-quality oils like soybean or cottonseed oil that contribute to chronic inflammation. This inflammation doesn't just affect your heart or your joints. It targets the endothelium, the delicate lining of your blood vessels, making it harder for blood to reach the places that define a man's confidence and intimacy. When blood pressure rises and vessel walls are inflamed, it becomes harder to achieve and maintain an erection. And for many men, the link between what they eat and how they perform isn't always clear until someone connects the dots. I helped my father trade in those salted peanuts for unsalted pistachios, rich in L-arginine, which helps dilate blood vessels naturally. Within weeks, his pressure dropped, his energy lifted, and that old spark, it came back slowly but surely. But the next nut on our list is even sneakier. It's often praised as luxurious, even gourmet. Yet for aging men, it can quietly inflame the arteries and tip the balance of healthy fats in the wrong direction. Let's take a deeper look. Nut 3. Macadamia nuts, the hidden fat trap. I once had a patient named Robert, 72 years old, retired Navy. Disciplined, active, and deeply committed to staying healthy. He was proud of his clean diet, and he especially loved his morning ritual, a handful of macadamia nuts with his coffee. "Doctor," he told me with a grin, "they're heart-healthy and loaded with good fat." But behind that confidence was something he didn't want to talk about. His stamina was fading, his erections weren't as firm, and intimacy with his wife felt more like a memory than a moment. Macadamia nuts are often praised for their buttery taste and high monounsaturated fats. But here's the hidden trap. Those fats aren't the full story, especially for aging men. Macadamias are also very high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6s aren't bad in small amounts, but in excess and without enough omega-3s to balance them, they fuel chronic inflammation. And for men over 60, inflammation is one of the stealthiest enemies of circulation and performance. When the body's inflamed, the blood vessels stiffen, the arteries clog faster, and your ability to deliver oxygen-rich blood to your vital organs, yes, including down there, declines. What's more, these nuts are calorie-dense, meaning even a small handful packs in a lot of fat. That matters because with age, your metabolism slows and your body becomes more sensitive to dietary imbalances. Robert didn't need to give up snacking, he just needed smarter swaps. We replaced the macadamias with a few Brazil nuts a day. Not only did that help balance his fats, but it also gave him a powerful dose of selenium, a mineral known to support testosterone and prostate health. Within a month, he felt clearer, more energized, and more like himself again. But now we come to the nut that fools almost everyone. It looks harmless, tastes sweet, and hides in trail mixes and granola. Yet it has a quiet way of robbing your body of one of the most important minerals for male vitality. You won't want to miss this. Nut 4. Cashews, the zinc blockers. There was a time when I used to carry a little bag of cashews in my glove box. They were my healthy snack between appointments, creamy, satisfying, not too salty, and for years I never questioned it. But when I started working more closely with older male patients, I noticed a strange pattern. Many of the men who were struggling with low energy, prostate problems, and fading libido were also the same ones loading up on cashews, and that made me take a harder look. Cashews might seem innocent, even wholesome. They're a popular choice in granola, trail mix, and even plant-based cooking. But here's the problem. They're high in oxalates, compounds that bind to essential minerals like zinc and calcium, making it harder for your body to absorb them. And for men over 60, zinc is absolutely critical. It supports testosterone production, maintains prostate health, and plays a direct role in sexual performance and sperm quality. So if you're eating something that blocks zinc absorption, even if it looks healthy, you're setting yourself up for problems that show up in the bedroom, in your energy levels, and even in your mood. What's worse, many cashews sold today are roasted and refined vegetable oils that inflame your arteries and further impair blood flow. Over time, this combination, a subtle zinc deficiency plus vascular inflammation, can silently chip away at the very systems that make you feel strong, masculine, and connected. When I stopped eating cashews and switched to raw almonds and pumpkin seeds, I noticed the difference in my own clarity and stamina. I've recommended the same to my patients, and the results speak for themselves. But here's the thing. It's not really about the nuts, is it? It's about how an aging body responds to the foods we once thought were safe. And that brings us to a deeper truth, one that every man over 60 needs to understand if he wants to protect his vitality. Let's uncover it together. 5. The problem isn't nuts, it's what nuts do to an aging body. Not long ago, one of my longtime patients, Frank, a 74-year-old widower, sat across from me with a confused look in his eyes. He had been eating what he believed was a clean, heart-healthy diet, including a variety of nuts every day. Almonds in his cereal, cashews as a snack, the occasional macadamia treat. He told me, "Doc, I've done everything right, but I still feel tired. My blood pressure's up, and intimacy just isn't the same." And that's when I had to tell him something most doctors never say out loud. The issue isn't the nuts themselves, it's how your body, your older, wiser, but more sensitive body, responds to them now. After 60, your metabolism slows, your blood vessels become more reactive, your hormones start shifting. Foods that once supported your energy might now be tipping your system out of balance. Inflammatory oils, hidden anti-nutrients, and poor mineral absorption aren't just theoretical problems anymore. They show up in your daily life, in your energy, your mood, your blood pressure, and in the bedroom. Nuts are nutrient-dense. They're rich in fats, yes, but not all fats work the same way once you hit your 60s. Too much omega-6, not enough omega-3. Too much salt, too many processed oils. It adds up, slowly, silently, and often without clear warning signs until performance and confidence begin to decline. That's why the solution isn't to cut all nuts out. It's to choose the right ones for your current stage of life. Ones that work with your body, not against it. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you next. A simple daily swap plan, practical, doable, and designed specifically to help men over 60 regain circulation, restore energy, and feel like themselves again. Stay with me. You're going to want to hear this. 6. The 4-nut swap plan. Easy daily fix. One thing I've learned after decades of working with men over 60 is that most of them don't need more pills, more rules, or more confusion. They just need a clear plan, something simple and doable they can stick with. I remember having this exact conversation with George, 69, a retired teacher. He looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I don't want to cut out everything I enjoy. Just tell me what to swap." That's exactly what this is, a small shift that brings big results. Instead of loading your body with nuts that trigger inflammation, block zinc, or spike your blood pressure, we simply trade them for choices that support your circulation, protect your prostate, and give you back your energy. So here's what I tell my patients. If you're eating soy nuts, switch to pumpkin seeds. They're rich in zinc, magnesium, and plant-based protein, and they actively support testosterone production. If salted peanuts are your go-to, swap them out for unsalted pistachios. Pistachios are one of the few nuts that contain natural L-arginine, which helps improve blood flow by relaxing blood vessels. If you love macadamias, try having 1 or 2 Brazil nuts instead. They provide a powerful dose of selenium, which supports sperm health, hormone balance, and overall vitality. And finally, if cashews are your daily snack, consider replacing them with raw almonds or even chia seeds, both gentle on the body and packed with nutrients that don't block mineral absorption. This isn't about giving things up. It's about trading up, making smart choices that work with your aging body, not against it. These daily swaps may seem small, but when done consistently, they can restore your blood flow, improve your intimacy, and reignite your confidence. And if you're wondering which nuts and seeds actually boost blood flow and performance, those that every older man should consider making a staple in his routine, then you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's talk about what to eat instead. 7. What to eat instead? Nuts that boost blood flow. The question I get asked the most by men over 60 is simple. Doc, if I can't have the usual stuff, what can I actually eat that'll help me feel like myself again? And I love that question because it shifts the focus from what you're losing to what you're gaining. You're not giving up food, and you're reclaiming control over your energy, your intimacy, and your confidence. There are a few powerful options I recommend time and again, natural, affordable, and backed by real science. First up are pistachios. These little green gems are more than a tasty snack. They're packed with L-arginine, an amino acid that helps the body produce nitric oxide, the key molecule your blood vessels need to relax and expand. Better blood flow means better performance, not just in the bedroom, but throughout your entire body. Next are pumpkin seeds. They're loaded with zinc, magnesium, and antioxidants, all crucial for supporting testosterone, prostate health, and stable blood pressure. A small handful a day can make a big difference. They also help reduce inflammation, something every aging body can benefit from. Then there are Brazil nuts, nature's selenium powerhouse. Just 1 or 2 a day can support hormone production and improve sperm quality. I've seen men in their late 60s and 70s feel sharper, sleep better, and regain a sense of vibrancy after adding these into their routine. And don't forget almonds and chia seeds. Gentle on the digestive system, full of heart-friendly nutrients and supportive of steady circulation. The key is to enjoy these raw and unsalted, letting their nutrients work for your body, not against it. When men make these changes, they start to notice things. More energy in the mornings, more confidence with their partner, a sense of youth returning not through medicine, but through smart nourishment. And now that you know what to avoid and what to choose instead, there's one final message I need to share with you. It's the truth that ties everything together, the reason this all matters more than ever. Let's wrap this up the right way. Conclusion. I've spent over 3 decades sitting across from men just like you, strong men, wise men, men who built families, careers, and legacies. And yet, time and time again, I've watched how something as simple as what we eat can quietly chip away at our vitality, our confidence, and the connection we have with those we love most. The truth is, it's not about blaming nuts or fearing food. It's about understanding how the body changes after 60 and how we must change with it. You've learned today that 4 common nuts, soy nuts, salted peanuts, macadamias, and cashews, can quietly disrupt blood flow, lower testosterone, and weaken intimacy. Not because they're bad, but because they no longer serve the man your body has become. You've also learned that by making a few simple swaps, choosing pistachios, pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, and almonds, you can support your circulation, your strength, and your masculinity without relying on medications or gimmicks. I've seen it happen. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s take control again. And it didn't start with a prescription. It started with awareness, and one decision at a time. So here's my message to you. This isn't just about nuts. It's about saying yes to the next chapter of your life. A chapter with more energy, deeper intimacy, and fewer silent struggles. You're not too old. It's not too late. Your body is still listening. Now it's time to feed it what it really needs. If this spoke to you, I hope you'll share it with another man who needs to hear it. And remember, sometimes the smallest changes bring the biggest returns. Let this be your starting point.